Welcome to Surface Water Management with WMS Engineering. My name's Kelly, and today we're going to talk about progressive rehabilitation and closure plans from the mining industry in Queensland, also known as PRCPs. We'll kick off with a general overview on why we undertake PRCPs, and the obvious answer for this might be the 2019 state government statutory guidelines. This specifies the rehab and closure requirements applicable to mining activities in Queensland. But beyond just legal responsibilities, we have a social obligation to rehabilitate mined land so that the land can be used in the post-mining future. Another purpose for PRCPs is that it allows the operator to consider and integrate the ultimate rehabilitation goal throughout the mine plan, right from the start in initial planning phases, during operations, and through to closure. Something to keep in mind about closure planning is that it is a constantly evolving field where we are always seeking new ways to do better and learn lessons from successful mine closures. Some of the key stakeholders involved in PRCPs is, of course, the local community, which includes individuals, organizations, and industries that may operate in the same area, as well as the traditional owners of the land. Another key stakeholder are the government bodies, the local and state government, Department of Environment and Science, and Department of Resources in Queensland. Another key stakeholder is, of course, future generations, which will utilize the rehabilitated land for a new purpose. WMS is a water consultancy, and in PRCPs, we are predominantly involved with the surface water management aspects. This begins by first receiving landform and mine planning designs from the client, which will outline what the intended post-closure and rehabilitated landscape will look like. From there, we undertake hydrological and hydraulic assessments, identify key flood risks, and provide meaningful recommendations to assist mine planners in revising landform designs. Some key surface water risks to consider in PRCPs is firstly, water ingress into pit voids. Generally, we want to avoid the formation of pit lakes due to the significant volumes of potentially toxic water ponding in pit voids for long durations. In the planning process, we must identify, quantify, and minimize any water ingress that may occur generally from pits being located within the floodplain. Another risk is in the landform design of rehabilitated pit and waste dumps. We want to ensure long-term structural stability of these structures and reduce the likelihood of any erosion or sedimentation into the environment. Some considerations for this may be in the design of the slope profile and reducing runoff from dumps to prevent cracking and formation of gullies. Another key risk is in the alteration of flows resulting from changing topography from mining activity. This can have long-term major impacts to the environment and sensitive receptors in the area. We undertake an assessment of changes in flow quantities and qualities to understand the potential long-term impacts. In an underground mining context, there are additional risks to consider, particularly around surface subsidence. When subsidence occurs through the life of the mine and beyond, this changes the surface topography and consequently the hydrological regime. As such, subsidence modeling and analysis is required to inform long-term rehabilitation strategies. Some risks to consider are changes in overall surface water characteristics and drainage of the site, potentially increased surface ponding and cracking due to the formation of trough and ridge profile through subsidence, and in some sites, the destabilization of waterway banks and beds may occur. Ultimately, this will all have cumulative impacts to the composition and distribution of local flora and fauna species. So to sum up some key takeaways, I thought I'd talk a little bit more about the interconnectedness of water enclosure. Both are an ongoing process throughout the life cycle of the mine. Surface water management begins at pre-feasibility or exploration phases where you're considering whether a site is viable, and this extends through to post-closure with ongoing sampling and monitoring. Similarly, closure begins at the very start of the planning phases and extends throughout the life cycle. By integrating both elements throughout the mining process, we are better able to deliver effective rehabilitation strategies and stronger outcomes for the environment. This is the intention of the PRCP. So that was a quick summary on water and progressive rehab and closure plans in Queensland. I hope you learnt a thing or two from this video. If you have any questions or are keen to know more, just feel free to reach out and we'd be happy to help.